How not to get stuck in your dark night. Now this video is an important video. You know why? Anybody that walks this path at some point will wonder, for how long am I able to endure this dark night? It's a legitimate question. I mean, during this time, it's like your life is on hold. You have money problems. Most people become homeless. In some parts, you're not even able to operate in the real world. It's like you got so much fear in you. You wonder, how long will this last? Now, my first dark night of the soul was fast, but it shook me up the most. The second one was a little bit smoother, but it lasted around 8 months. And this last one was the longest and the hardest. It took me a whole 2.5 years. Funny enough, when I was in the thick of this experience, I heard this man said to me, he's been in the dark night of the soul for like 10 years. He said he lost both his parents and he was not able to recover. This added more to my anxiety. And I heard this other lady say she's been stuck in the dark night of the soul for over 20 years. And I said, oh Lord, I'm going to be dead by the time this is over. Luckily for me, I'm out of this experience, so I can share how not to get stuck in your dark night. Unless it comes back again. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Alula, and welcome to Awaken the Ego. How not to get stuck in your dark night of the soul. Now, before we move further, let's just get one thing straight. You are never stuck. It's like you are solving a puzzle within you. Now, when it comes to spirituality, guys, there is no time. There's no length. All there is, are you able to solve this puzzle within yourself? Of course, the mind wanders and puts time on this experience. You wonder, how long will I endure this pain? Oh God, am I able even to, handle this? What if I never make it out of here? Now, the hardest part about dark night of the soul, it's like your life has been put on the shelf. It's like you're not moving forward. In most cases, it feels as if you're going backwards. Now, during this time, usually people to begin searching online about other people's experience. When I was going through that, I wish there was a video like this that will make my journey, smoother. So here's a video, guys. How not to get stuck in your dark night. Mind you, when you begin to search, you're gonna hear all sorts of different perspective from different people. I suggest you should not pay any mind to that. You should just focus on your journey, because this journey is tailor-made specifically for each and every person that walks this path. You know, some people say they've been stuck in there for 10 years, some 20, even 30. Now, if you pay attention to these people, this will add more anxiety to the anxiety that's already there. You know, during this time, usually, money problems is the number one problem. Fear, anxiety. You know, it's like you fear people. You can't operate in a real world. You know, it's like your mind is invaded by all sorts of problems that you thought you never had. Some from this time, also from other lifetimes. All these things come up to be seen and released, you know. But how long will this last? That will depend on you, you know. Now, how not to get stuck in your dark night? The first one, guys, is you got to let your ego die, and let it die a peaceful death. Usually, guys, when you enter a dark night of the soul, you know, something triggers you. When you trigger it, of course, this is so hard to take for the ego. You know, for those of you who have gone through an ego death, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, going through this experience of an ego death, guys, is more painful than a physical death. If I can share how my ego died, at first, my ego was very angry. He was even angry at God. You know, one of the ways ego dies is like, or the universe helps you to kill your ego, is like the universe gives you something that you always wanted and takes it away. That was my experience. You know, I thought I was settling into my purpose, but then after 2 years or so, that was taken away from me. Now, how my ego reacted to this was first was anger. God, how dare you did this to me? Why did you even give me my purpose first place? Yeah, I was angry for a certain amount of time. The second way my ego was dying was I started playing the victim. I'm telling you guys, your ego will give you, you know, an Oscar-winning performance. Let me be honest, that is the most stubborn thing. Depending on how what happened to you and how it happened, you know, is the most stubborn your ego gonna be, guys. Now, if you listen to your ego and react what the ego is telling you, guys, this will prolong, or you're gonna be stuck in this experience of the dark night of the soul. You know, the best method to handle this, guys, is to observe your ego without reaction. That's why, guys, meditation is effective. Really, every time your focus goes to somewhere, if you bring it back to the present moment, guys, and just observe what's happening in your mind with that reaction, this will help you move through this stage smoothly. Yeah, I hear people that even go crazy. It's because of this. Since your ego is dying, it's freaking out and is making the most noise that is ever made. It's like all hell will break loose. At some point, my ego said, I don't even want to be here anymore. It's like it's threatening to kill itself. Can you imagine if I reacted to that? Guys, just observe your ego. And you're going to see, you're going to be in this emotional feeling for a couple of days. And you'll see, it'll begin to subside. Then that will help you move through this experience way smoother. Now, the second point on this, guys, is to prepare yourself both psychologically and also physically. The funny thing about a spiritual awakening is like it'll lead you through a rabbit hole. You're going to get to see the world for what it is. Some people are not able to handle this. Seriously, there was this YouTuber I liked back when my Dark Night of the Soul first started. This YouTuber has helped me a lot on this journey at the beginning. But he was so young, he was 21 years old. And then after some time, I saw this young man, even though he was so gifted, he was not able to handle what he saw after his third eye opened. It's like, I think he went crazy. He even was walking in the streets naked. That was filmed on a video. Now, I suspect what happened there was this young man was not prepared to see the world for what it is. How could he? He was so young. Guys, you have to be psychologically, even physically ready for you to accommodate this power that is coming to you, guys. Now, the physical part, especially for those who are going through Kundalini awakening. Now, those of you who are familiar with Kundalini awakening, is like an energy source that lays at the bottom of your spine. Now, usually this energy is triggered by an experience which leads to a dark night of the soul. Now, when this energy is unleashed on you guys, your physical has to be able or must have the capacity to handle this energy. If you haven't prepared physically, this could really make you stuck in your dark night. That's why exercise and moving your body is essential. Funny enough, thing about trauma was I even began to learn so much about trauma through this experience. I saw that a lot of my trauma was even stored in my physical, particularly here at the back and also the lower back here. Now, in the first 2 years of my awakening, I did lots of movement and lots of yoga, exercise, and meditation. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, of course, but it's like I was being led to do these things. You know, now this exercise helped my physical release the trauma that was stuck on my body. It's like a trauma gets stuck in the nervous system, it gets stuck in your body, also psychologically, guys. You know, so you have your physical and psychological capability must be up. You have to exercise. Also, you have to be a person that is able to look at the truth, you know, and accept the truth for what it is. Now, moving on to the next point, how to not get stuck in your dark night is to do what you are led to do, guys. Seriously, your spirit is smart. You know, your body is smart. Your body and your spirit knows what to do. All you got to do is, guys, obey it. Now, what do I mean? Now, like I shared, in the first part of my awakening, or after I experienced my dark nights, you know, it's like I had all this energy within me. So I was led to create and also move my body so much so that I can prepare for the next stage of my awakening. On the next stage, you know, I got a little bit heavier. You know, I felt like even I put on more weight, I felt so tired. It was like my body was asking me to rest and do nothing for a long time. So I did that, and my dark night of the soul was successful, I think. Every time you resist of doing what you're led to do, guys, all you're doing is prolonging this experience. Okay, guys, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Until your next video, God bless and take care. Bye bye.